जिए तुम्हारे जी तुम जिया का दातारा हर त्याग हो संतो जी सब दुख विसारनहारा हर आपे ठाकुर हर आपे सेवक जी क्या नानक जन प्रचारा तू गत गत अंतर सर्व निरंतर जी हर एक पुरख समाना एक दाते एक भिखारी जी सब तेरे छोट बढ़ाना तू आपे दाता आपे भुगता जी हम खुद बिन अवर न जाना तू पार ब्रह्म बेअंत बेअंत जी तेरे क्या गुण आप बखाना जो सेव हैं तुझ जी जन नानक तिन कुर्बाना हर त्याग है तुझ जी से चन जो मैं सुखवासी से मुक्त पए जन हर त्याग जी दिन टूटी जम की फांसी जिन निरपौ जिन हर निरपौ त्याया जी दिन का पौ सब वासी जिनसे व्या मेरा हर जी दे हर हर रूप समासी से तन जिन हर त्याया जी जन नानक तिन पर जासी तेरी भगत भंडार जी भरे बेअंत बेअंता तेरे भगत सलाहन तुझ जी हर अनेक अनेक अनंता तेरी अनेक कराह हर पूजा जी तब तपै जपै बेअंता तेरे अनेक प्रभु सिमरत शास्त्र जी कर क्रिया खट करम ग्रंथा से भगत भले जन नानक जी जो पावे मेरे हर भगवंता तू आदि पुरख अपरंपर करता जी तुझ जेवर अवर न कोई तू जुग जुग एको सदा तू एको जी तू नह चल करता सोई तुझ आपे पावे सोई वर्तै जी तू आपे कर सोई तुझ आपे सृष्ट सब पाए जी तुझ आपे सिर सब होई जन नानक गुण गावे करते के जी जो सब सका जान होई वाहिगुरु राग आसा महला चौथा सो पुरख एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद सो पुरख निरंजन हर अगम अपारा सब त्याग है तुझ जी हर सचे सृजनहारा सब जिए तुम्हारे जी तुम जिया का दातारा हर त्याग हो संतो जी सब दुख विसारनहारा हर आपे ठाकुर हर आपे सेवक जी क्या नानक जात विचारा तू गत गत अंतर सर्व निरंतर जी हर एक पुरख समाना एक दाते एक भिखारी जी सब तेरे छोट बढ़ाना तू आपे दाता आपे भुगता जी हम तुझ बिन अवर न जाना तू पार ब्रह्म बेअंत जी तेरे क्या गुण आप
Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well this evening. Thank you for joining. Right off the bat, if you would, please feel free to share this post to your wall. I'm about reaching people, as we all are. Again, feel free to share this post. And before we get started, I have a wonderful opportunity that has been laid before me by an acquaintance from the UK. It looks like that I might have a major book publishing deal with a company called Sixth Books, worldwide distribution. So the reason I'm telling you this is that you would hold that vision with me for a moment. Just close your eyes, fall into this space. It's a simple shift. Just fall. Just hold the idea that if this is in the highest good, that it's surrounded by light and becomes anchored. Phenomenal opportunity for me. So I've been working on that diligently, which sparked this broadcast about right now. This opportunity is reinforcing for me to be in the now moment. to be aware of the dynamic of energy that's moving within. If you would, go to YouTube and look up Center of Light Radio and subscribe to my page. It's a very important time for me to have that happen. So I'm going to chit-chat for another 5 minutes, so wait for people to collect. So if you would, you can go to youtube.com/Center of Light Radio, or go to YouTube and look up Center of Light Radio. Like my page, give me some thumbs up. The viewership is getting greater and greater. If you want to be notified when I do these live presentations, which I do them as often as possible, somewhere in the room, in the virtual room, you'll see notify me when Keith goes live. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Go to centeroflightradio.com or KeithAnthonyBlanchard.com. The bottom of the opening page, you'll see a red Ferrari. It'll take you to RPM, Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest Your Life. My lifelong work. I'm also now working on a brand new book, thanks to you for being in this virtual forum when I do these live broadcasts. Because last year, after about 8 bursts of light, I realized that I channeled an entire book thanks to my marketing director, Renee Brown, who has transcribed all of this into documents, and now I am editing it and shaping it. And it's not going to be just a normal book with text. I'm going to make it about a lot of fun things that I'm into. My favorite fonts, favorite pictures I love, maybe pictures of my son, artsy kind of thing, kind of like a really cool scrapbook called Radical Transformation. But this also goes hand in hand with Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest Your Life. It's my lifelong work. It's a program. It'll tell you what you get and what you'll be able to create, and you get one-on-one time with me so we can help you move through any blocks that you may have, or help you get clearer about certain things that you want to achieve in your life, be it relationship, more financial abundance. And I am going to be doing a show really soon about sacred seed syllables that you repeat throughout your day, and it begins to bring wealth into your life through avenues you never thought possible. Stay tuned for that. But with your one-on-one time, you and I, if you sign up for this program, help you get clear. You want greater degrees of intuition? We can do that. I'll show you how to do all these different qualities. So check that out. Click on that red Ferrari at the bottom of centeroflightradio.com. Also, right next to that, you'll see a sign-up form. Fill it out. Put your email stuff in there. When I do have time to start a newsletter program, you will receive it automatically monthly, or however often the intervals will be. But you will also begin to receive bundles at a time of all of my work, all of my books, my movies for free. But you got to fill that out. So tonight's broadcast is right now. Right now. Let me go to the room real quick so I can say hi to all you beautiful souls. All you beautiful bursts of light. I just got a message from my software saying something went wrong. Is everything still okay? Do I need to... Hi, Angela, Danny, Tracy, June, Ronnie, Elwood, Janice, Sue, Angela, Corey, Terry, Maria, Alex, Steve, Leanne, John, Patrice, Chloe, Michael, Kayleen, hello beautiful Kayleen, Becky, Bonnie, Kenneth, Tony Meharry, Angela, Sue, Maria, Becky. So it froze a few times. Is everything okay now? Everything okay now. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I think we're good. Yes, we are. All right. So tonight, I want to talk to you about right now and how integral and important, which seems to be a simple concept, well, right now. When you start to move into right now, you will realize that it is a multi-layered metaphorical onion. In fact, it is so layered and so encrypted with everything. It's the only place you will ever find God. Think about this. When you do something that brings you such joy, time flies like that. God is eternal. So for you, if God is the reservoir, a source of joy, when you are in joy, you are in God, and you are always present in the moment, because it's the joy and the happiness that keeps you aware of right now. That's where God is. You will never find God anywhere else but in the present moment. It's the eternal now. And when you begin to stretch your now moments, there will no longer be any intervals. In fact, they'll get smaller and smaller and smaller until there's this one long drone of right now. And you can do that and you can achieve that forever right now. Now is the moment. Nothing else exists. It's eternal. And when you close your eyes and do what I'm doing, or model it, so to speak, as an example, you feel yourself swell and expand in consciousness and in heart immediately. Now is the moment. You stay in this moment as long as you possibly can. You stay in God as long as you possibly can. It's the place to heal yourself from your past. It's the place to heal yourself from anxiety about what may or may never come. Right now is the place to do that. Because if you don't begin, when will you? Right now. You can literally heal yourself of anything, emotional first and mentally second, then physically, because you treat the emotional body and the mental body, then by spiritual law, by the law of metaphysics and by the law of physics. It has to change, the body that is. Now is the moment to heal yourselves. You can do it in a moment. But Keith, you don't understand, this happened some time back and it's so devastating, or it's so whatever, burdened me in such a way. Oh, I understand. I am your brother and I get it. But it's all the meaning we give to those things, those wounds, those cuts, that continues the illness, the dis-ease, or the disease of the self. Right now is the doctor. Right now is the tincture. Right now is the manna. It's right now. One final check in the room. Make sure I'm not having any software problems. Everything's still good, everyone. Yes? Yes, Keith, all is well would be awesome in the comment box. Hello, Bubba. We're still good? All is well. Thank you, Becky. Right now, remember just a moment ago when I went to this little dialogue? We talked about right now. And then I sort of distracted you by taking a break and going to the software. Did you lose track of that right now until I brought your awareness right back to it? That is how elusive it can be. And it shows us directly and immediately where the work needs to be done. It's about always intending to be in the right now. Abraham Lincoln lives right now. The entire potential universe, the infinite potential, exists right now. Time does not exist. Ain't nobody got time for that. Time is an illusion. It's such an erroneous frame of mind. It's exactly what it is. It's a frame. We've created this linear timeline. And it's so convincing that we were born, we live our life, and we die. That's not the way of it all. But it is purposeful. It is purposeful. That is part of being the human being. That is part of the human process of expanding into greater degrees of forever. Because if we didn't choose to come down here and play with time, we would still be right now with God, the eternal now. Right? So right now is everything. It is the cheese on your sandwich. Everything you want exists right now. So the idea is, the trick is, my hope is, that you always live in joy, because living in joy will bring you to the right now. Something's going on with your day, you're not living in joy, find a reason to get back in joy. A reason to be back into right now. Pull out a picture out of your purse, your wallet, someone you love, a child, a grandmother. Put on one of your favorite pieces of music. Something that shifts you to right now. So when you're in joy and happiness and bliss, you are right now. Or you can practice, let's call it right nowness. Practice right nowness. And then you will find the opposite in the practicing right nowness and trying to be forever aware of the now moment. You will find that same joy, happiness, bliss, and peace into your body that way. So you can do it either way. They will both take you to the same place because they are both the same. They are the same coin. They are two sides of the same coin right now. And as I mentioned just a bit ago, right now is the only place God can ever be found, ever. I don't care your religion, your denomination, your path, your walk, your creed, your code, your sect. Because if we can't see what's happening right now, I mean, it's called blind. You go tell that to someone who doesn't have the ability of sight. They're blind right now. So in right nowness, we thought this is seeing our whole life. I can see pretty doggone good. What's the problem? That is seeing. And not only is it seeing with eyes, along with that comes an inner third spiritual component. An element of who you are at your soul. And it's called vision. Vision. The ability to take in, not only to take in, but the ability to output, but clearly. And in using that clear space, the universe begins to conspire. And if you're really good at it, and you're really in the right now, it will manifest in such a way as if you were creating water into wine, as your teacher, Christ, said, you will do what I do, if not more. Seek ye the kingdom of God within. For I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. Right now. That is the deliciousness of being ever present. It's the only place you're going to find God. It's the only place you're going to heal. And when you get good at this right nowness, once you cross the 51%, so to speak, of the work or play, because you want to make this fun, it should be fun in and of itself just for the mere fact that you know in a short amount of time no pun intended, by practicing right nowness, you will reach the 51% mark and have enough infinite momentum, perpetual momentum behind you that you no longer have to do it. You are already now, you are now, or right now, in automatic pilot mode. Now you've created a new default. That is the importance of being in the right now. And if you are living a life filled with absolute joy, there's really not much work or play for you to do. It's become dramatically shortened. Think about something that brings you joy, how fast time flees from you. And how you are so present in the moment because of right now. Some reading from my bestseller, The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth. If you have not read this lifelong work of mine yet, you want to read something that's fun and expansive, check it out. You can find that at centeroflightradio.com or KeithAnthonyBlanchard.com. Click on the Creations tab. There the books and my movies will be. You can buy them from Amazon. Just as easy as that. In my dialogue with Spirit from The Divine Principle, obviously the topic for tonight is right now. I say to God in this dialogue, I guess my attempts to heal, and now we're speaking about right now. I guess my attempts to heal the present haven't worked because I'm so used to living from past to future. No wonder, Spirit says, no wonder, with your current way of looking at things, cause then effect is how you think it goes. But though you perceive the past and the future to be completely different, I do not. In actuality, there are two sides of the same coin, what I just said. Cause implies a past intention when measured against effect, the manifestation of that intention over a linear period. Thus, past and future have no choice but to be bridged by the eternal now. The wormhole that folds time and space. Believe me, the moment you launch an intention, it is already manifested. Spirit continues. As long as humanity is lost in time, all manifestations will seem to come as future occurrences. But as you release more fear, we drop into the eternal heart out of the linear mind of fear, the time it takes for you to notice such manifestations will quicken. Only when you remove all doubt and mind clutter will you begin to assume mastership and be able to both manifest what you desire in a holy instant and anchor the divine principles for life. Boy, that's powerful stuff. I ask God, does time have any benefit? God says, right now the buffer is time. Right now, the buffer of time is of great benefit to you. For if it were not for this shock absorber, the fear encapsulated in your head could not handle the events that might manifest immediately. So because of the buffer of time, we get to rework things before they actually happen. So we don't get broadsided because all things are happening right now. So it creates us a buffer and gives us some grace to manipulate things, to play with them, so we can not get hit as hard as we could have. Thank you, karma. I asked Spirit, we're talking about being removed from time. So we couldn't understand things happening so quickly because of the fear encapsulated in our head. And then Spirit says, can you see why in the afterlife this is referred to as hell? I say, yes, I can, because we exist in spirit form there and cannot use time to act as our thought buffer. Spirit says, you catch on quickly. It is time that has fooled you into not knowing that you create your entire existence. The difference between you and me, God and you, me, is that you have been caught up in its illusion and bound to the body, so you cannot possibly see the next reality you have already created. Why? Your ever active fear has denied you clarity and self-love. I ask Spirit, will you tell me more about what hell actually is? Yes, but I shall do that as we go along. For now, let us stick to the subject at hand. When you unify with God, you become a part of something so divinely laid out that struggle ceases to be an issue, because God lives right now and you are in it. You have only to think something and bang, it happens. This should give you some idea of the inexhaustible love I have for you. Many people remain unaware of how to create deliberately. But now that you are learning how, beloved, you can choose not to react to circumstance. That takes us out of the now moment. But instead, put the power of love into action to bring about what you desire and deserve. It is not a sin to be born human. It is a privilege. But you can bet that the people who believe it is a sin are the same people who have no sense of the self, who expect some kind of leniency from a judgmental God when you die. My children, you do not need me to judge and punish you for what you do. You have already assumed that position yourselves. Error by error, excuse by excuse, judgment by judgment, lifetime by lifetime. I am here to help you all recognize the judgmental thoughts and the feelings you have acted upon and the dreadful effects they have had on you. On some level, you already know when you make a poor choice, and you hold yourselves in contempt when you do. What many of you do not know is how to live a life without judgment. I can think of no better way to help you stop judging than to show you how. Spirit continues. First, let me ask you, why would I take anything away from you that you want and choose? I say, you wouldn't, because that would violate our free will, God says. Then, as I see it, what needs calibration is the way you see things. Almost everyone imposes right or wrong, good or bad limitations, and because of them, you have created a God in your own image. Contriving that I am judgmental like you, but a million times more so, or worse, as you would say. Keith, you yourself know the inner conflict that comes when you live what you have been taught and believed to be true, and are presented with the real truth and must decide how to handle it. When you regard me as unconditional one moment and judgmental the next, no wonder you are all so confused. I say to Spirit, yeah, it's no wonder I've questioned some religious precepts most of my life. They just don't make much sense to me, especially the ones that proclaims that when I die, you will be there to judge me, and that you will be judgmental in your judgment. But why wouldn't anyone not think that they stand before me right now? We're talking about certain religious models, how they feel that we're going to be judged when we die, because that's when we stand before God. In my dialogue with Creator, Spirit says, but why would anyone not think that they stand before me right now? And I say to Spirit, maybe out of ignorance, from still thinking and believing God is out there and not here right now. Or because we don't want to feel that we are responsible for our actions until the very day we die. Spirit says, know what? Both are true. Some do not yet understand the omniscience of God. Others feel that they can just keep buying time until that day, then deal with it then. But the deleterious effects of such self-judgment are happening here and now. Continuing on, I say to Spirit, but won't some people always believe that God will condemn them? God says, yes, but if they just take the time to meditate on that belief of theirs, their soul will undoubtedly send them a message of assurance that I would not do such a thing. I say, several times when I've questioned the possibility of such punishment, I've been overcome by a feeling of reassurance, and suddenly that punishment concept just didn't hold up. God says, there, you see, when you let Spirit in, it cannot. For the many who cannot yet hear their soul's message, life can be a never-ending tug of war. So what's their problem? Spirit says, they are still too wobbly. They keep on doing the back and forth mind dance, trying to figure out what to do about their troubles. That prevents them from being in the moment, the right now moment. And in the stillness of God, be still and know that I am God. If they would take that brave dive into their hearts, they would be able to bypass their minds and eventually expose themselves to the unwavering truth that would make them as solid as a rock, like Peter, planted, anchored forevermore, unmovable, unshakable. The storm outside can bitch all it wants, and I am planted. Spirit continues, you see, the truth needs no crutch, no explanation. Truth does not judge. It simply sits everywhere, waiting patiently to be recognized. And I say to Spirit, it's still challenging for me not to use judgment. I've graduated, gotten a little better. This was some years ago, but you can bet I work on it every day. I say to Spirit, it's still challenging for me to not use judgment. Spirit says, also out of being the now moment. You're in the now moment, there's no judgment. You're in judgment, there's no now moment. Spirit says, when you find yourself judging, notice how it keeps you in separation mode between what is right, good, and what is bad, wrong. And notice how it makes you want to turn away from what you see as the supposed evil. That is the relative mind at work, and a fear-based one it is. Goods, bads, rights, and wrongs vary from person to person. Yet each person arrogantly insists on basking in their rightness while they belittle others for their perceived wrongness. A different chapter of The Divine Principle, my bestseller, but about being in the now moment, right now, the eternal now moment. God says the entire universe is in a constant state of change. This never changes. Yet within this paradox, there is something that is fixed, permanent, and absolute. An anchor that moors the universe's intention, order, direction, and unfolding. That something is God, the unchanging changer. Because you have done to do so much internal work, Keith, your perceptions are heightened, and right now it seems that there are more changes happening than ever before. The fact is that nothing has really changed except your own level of awareness. Back before it developed, what never seemed to change was that nothing seemed to be going right in your life. But your new cognizance has altered that for you, has it not? And I say, yes, it has. And I believe I'm really starting to make sense of this paradox thing. God says, you think? Well, my friend, you are correct, because I can see with each passing day that you are spotting the synchronicity, coincidences in your life, and are beginning to freely interact with them. And I say, wow. So where does synchronicity come from? Coincidences. How does it manifest? And what does it mean? Spirit says, it is born out of my essence in the causal realm. From there, it swirls through your mind and into your feelings, allowing events around you on the earth plane. But coincidences have no significance other than to get your attention through higher means so that you can grasp the very alignment that you are in. And you will only do that by being in the right now. Because you are beginning to truly open your eyes and ears, you can at least now hear the higher language and can at last see order in what you have always thought to be chaos. I can see chaos, and every once in a while, Spirit, I can see order. But it's still a little challenging me to see the order in chaos. Keep looking, Keith, because chaos is like a snow globe whose contents may be shaken, but whose shimmering flakes always settle back into order. And so it is in the physical universe. Though things may be shaken, and that's happening right now, the global snow globe is being shaken. Take your seat belt off and get with the program, or your life as you know it will take a back seat to what is going on around you. I love you, and I want you to hear that again. Move with the current that's moving in life. Get out of drama, politics, fighting of any kind, internal bickering with the world, terrorism, politics. Get out of all of it. And get into right now. Because right now, things are happening on this planet. And in this right now moment, conscious or not, you are making a choice. You are making a choice. And the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, will begin to push. Actually, really, it's just becoming more and more visible. Because of the light workers, whoever you are doing the work, elevating consciousness. And things are becoming revealed. The internet is a manifestation of that revelation. Everything is becoming revealed. I'm channeling now. God is omniscient. So is the internet. God is all-knowing, omniscient. With the internet, you can get on Google and find anything. God is omnipresent. The Google is everywhere. God is omnipotent, all-powerful. And if the internet is everywhere and all information is there, we know knowledge to be power. Everything is becoming revealed. Get with the program of living in right now, and you will find yourself in joy. For if you don't, unconsciously we are making a choice to not really care, so to speak. I'm not interested in these kinds of things. And you will be supported in that. You will be supported by the divine in your, I'm just not really interested in these models that Keith is bringing through, or any other spiritual teacher, or anyone that is thinking unlike the way I think. And the way you're thinking is not broken, mind you. Whoever you are, including myself. Just take in information. We're living in the information age. Take it in, dear Lord, take it in. Take it only in, not only into your mind, take it into your heart and let your soul process it. And if you find yourself in fear, wanting to clamp down on something that you know deep inside it, through and through your bones, that is the truth. But dogma says, don't do it. Be afraid. That's dangerous. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It launches you out of the right now moment and puts us in a state of fear. I should not be entertaining these kinds of thoughts. My divine parent won't like me too much. That is so not right now. That is actually already walking into the fires of hell, a metaphorical one. Spiritual fetal position that your divine, ever-loving parent would throw you into a pit of fire forever. It is an absolute lie. I bought into it when I was a kid. But it didn't last really long. It didn't. Right now, continuing to move forward with Spirit speaking. Talking about being in the right now moment. So it is in the physical universe. Though things may be shaken, they still find their place to settle. Now, Keith, do you see how there is order even in chaos? I say, sorta. Spirit says, soon, my friend, soon. As you continue to awaken, everything will come into even clearer view. The pace of change will quicken for you, and synchronized phenomena will occur more frequently. That's what's happening in this world right now. The more you can successfully navigate using the compass of synchronicity, the more effective you will be as the captain of your own master ship. Then nothing will slip by you unmonitored, and the wake of your past will be replaced with your own willpower. This is how you all will evolve. And we are sitting on a cusp. It is now. It is happening, dear Lord, my friends. It's happening right now. Don't wait for the rapture. Don't wait for Armageddon. It's happening right now. Without the negative connotation even. Unless you want to lean into the negative connotation. This is the most joyous time for me. In this rapture. In the wrapping things up of this phase of humanity. So we can move into the golden age, into the golden experience. Christ consciousness, Buddhic consciousness. The age of enlightenment, the dawn of the new man and woman living heaven on earth, the prophecy, we are living it. Heaven on earth is not some future event. Keep waiting on the future, it'll never manifest. We have to be it right now. I am plugged into that program. Right now, I am plugged into it. Please join me. So I ask Spirit, so fear is what keeps us caught up in time. Spirit says yes. And then until you consciously reunite with the eternal, where fear is non-existent, for you, time will drag. To help you see what I mean, I ask you to reflect now on the past and look into the future, focusing on the time you have shared and will share with loved ones. The now moments you have with older relatives will one day become moments of your past. After your loved one dies, you can say that all those times you've shared with them are past now moments. You will have now moments with others in the future as well. Those times you will spend with people later on will be now future moments. Likewise, for future generations, you will be present in their past now moments, and so on. Throughout time, the only continuum is the now, right now. Abraham Lincoln is alive somewhere throughout the universe right now. And as I said, not until you transcend your fear will you be able to know what I know and see time as I do. So time after time, I've spoiled my chances to truly see, I ask. Spirit says, right. The moment you let fear influence whatever matter is at hand, you can see nothing except what you fear. For most people, a visit to the doctor or dentist's office causes the kind of anxiety that seems to make time last forever. On the other hand, when you do something that you are in love with, have you not noticed where time flies? Remember what it has been like for you, Keith, working those 9-to-5 jobs that you did not want to be at. How long your work day seemed to have lasted. One more piece. Yes. Welcome, everyone. Have you not noticed how some of your friends hate going to work? They could choose jobs or career direction like you did and begin to live their passion, but most do not. Spirit asked me, can you tell me why? And I say, they're like I once was. They fear change, or they are afraid of what people might think of their quitting. You're right on both counts. Plus, they have a fear of lack. They think that nothing more satisfying, creative, and or financially rewarding will ever come their way. It is no wonder that life for them seems hopeless. Their problem is that they have become so tightly wrapped around their own drama that they fear the story they are living will never, ever end. Some may even wish their lives were already over, but yet, not too soon, because they are still like you once were, Keith, afraid that in death, the lights will go out forever. But these perceptions are fiction. The truth in the book of love, a work of nonfiction, your present lives are sentences that will indeed end after a period. The truth in the book of love, a work of nonfiction, your present lives are sentences that will indeed end after a period. But then everyone will go on to live other life sentences that will form the paragraphs to eventually write the next chapter of God's universal story. That's what's happening now. The final entries into this book of what we know as humanity, that book is being closed. The last comma was placed, and the document is being saved and stored in the Akashic Hall of Records, the Akashic Library that exists on the ethers, where any spiritual being in the universe can go to this library, and there's a guard, and he lets you in. You can find anything in the universe ever created now, or has the potential to ever come into manifestation. This is the truth, and the truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. Take that in for a moment. And the only way you will be able to take in such spiritual wealth and knowledge and wisdom that I've been so fortunate to glean from spiritual masters, divine incarnations, the only way you will be able to take in fully that there is a plane of existence on the etherical. There's a library, a record of everything you have ever done, everything that every being in the universe ever created has ever done, that will ever be created can possibly choose. The Akashic Hall of Records. The truth does not need anyone's permission to exist. And the title of this broadcast, this presentation tonight, is Right Now. And right now is the only moment that exists. Now is the only moment. And you will only be able to glean such spiritual opportunities and play in such spiritual planes and take in such spiritual truth as what I've offered and others offer is when you are in right now. Because that's the only place you can take it in, integrate, assimilate, process, digest, and understand it properly. This is logic, and it serves a purpose. This is actually a greater brain than this. This is the gate to everything. And in closing, where does our fear of death come from? Where does our fear of death come from? Spirit says, some fear death because they still hold a past life memory of how they once died. But for many, it's not about the fear of death. It's about regret. Regret that they have not allowed themselves to actually live. Just look at how afraid you were once, Keith, to live fully, to really let go and have a good time. Do you not regret all the time you've wasted? I say, yes, I sure do. God says you can bet that your regret directly relates to any fear of death you are still harboring. Perhaps you are like those who think that if they give up being afraid, their lives will only get worse. Humanity has become so comfortably mired in its fear quandary that it does not remember how to balance itself. You will only be able to discover the motivation of that kind of strength you need to face your fears head on when you come together in unity and make the effort to work things out. My beloveds, it's time to lay your weary heads to rest. And it's everyone's mission. It is why you were born. You made an agreement with your Creator. Ask your soul right now in this moment. Again, the presentation is titled Right Now. Ask your soul by closing your eyes, meaning it, connecting to your divine parent, connecting to God, and say, did I come here agreeing to be a lamplight to the fullest capacity? And you hear the answer just like that. It overwhelms you. It consumes you. It says, that's right. Do it. And we do that by learning the practice of right nowness. Getting out of dwelling on the past. Getting out of dwelling on the future, which causes horrible anxiety. Depression is dwelling on the past. Anxiety is worrying about the future. That is so not practicing right nowness. You will only find God right now. For those who read scriptural books, I love reading scriptural books. The scriptural books themselves are from the past. And it's great because they're a beautiful roadmap that lead us to the moment of God, that lead us to the moment of right now. God is in the eternal now, forever. God's love for you is right now. Are we fully illumined with our love for God right now is what the question really becomes. Right now. And you stretch that right now moment, and then you get to be with your divine parent a little longer. Stay in right now, then you get to be with your divine parent a little longer. Because you feel it. You feel it. You might think that you're feeling a presence. But the truth of it really is, you're the one that is feeling present. How can we ever feel presence if we're not present enough to feel what presence feels like right now? So when we are present with ourselves, we are so open to feeling our divine parent drape us in its love, in its presence right now. We know the saying, we know how it goes. I'm going to do this chore tomorrow. Well, it never happens because you plan on doing it tomorrow. But I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. We make the connection right now. It's right now. Do what you can. Stay in this moment. As you go throughout your day, you just simply realize, let me go right back to right now. Let me go to right nowness. Let me go right to the moment. And you say, Spirit, and I swear to you, you will hear it. This is how close you are to God. Spirit, and he says, he, it, she, they, whatever it is, love, intelligence. Spirit, and says, yes, how can I help you? Why would you ever deny that response in your consciousness as if it's made up? Always go back to right now. Look back to the times when you were in right now. All those moments you played with your children or your grandchild or the birth of a child and you were in the room or you were with people. It's always about the people. Love it. Or you did something even simply on your own that was just set you on fire, set you on divine fire, and you were in that bliss, in that ecstasy. Notice how you were not thinking about something that happened to you many, many years ago that brought you to a space of fear, anxiety, or dread, or trouble. Think about all those times in your past that you lived in right now. And what you will find, dear Lord, I'm channeling, what you will find in dwelling reflecting on your past and all those moments of joy that you had, you were in the moment of right now. And that right now that you are in, as you reflect on those moments from your past, when you were in the moment of right now, are exactly one and the same point. They are the same moment. So now as you're reflecting in your past right now moments you've had, and because you are in this right now moment, doing the reflecting is bringing them together in alignment. And you know it. And you cannot deny it. And only a fool would deny it. So, dear ones, you have just been shown how time moves before you is an illusion. You just got a glimpse of your soul. You just got a glimpse of the eternal right now. You saw it flee from you when light was shed upon the simple illusion and the darkness, how it overlords your consciousness. Bring the ever-present moment awareness of right now, the light, to any situation. And right now, all of your troubles will dissipate from you. And the kicker is, you get to stay in that feeling. Oh my God, that light, that heavenly buzz, that juicy, delicious, divine energy. And you never want to leave. Why would we, right? You don't feel disconnected from your creator or your deity. You don't feel that sever. Because we're not severed. We just did a little shift and we feel it. And that spiritual muscle begins to grow and expand. And that spiritual muscle begins to grow and expand. And that spiritual muscle begins to grow and expand. And now you're on automatic pilot and you don't have to do any more work. And you're living in the kingdom, the gate for all the days of your life. All the days of your life start right now. Take a moment, have me some water. If you want to share anything about your day, a right now moment that you've had, please feel free to do so. If you have any questions, please feel free to do so. I'm going to take a quick pause, give me some water. I'm going to be around for another 10 minutes, so hang tight. I get a feeling that Yanava, my soul essence, will come through. It always comes through, even when I'm not in channel mode. And when I say I'm in channel mode, it's not a bragging point, bling bling, showboat, look at Keith. I like letting you know how things move with me, so that they might have made sense for you, because this is something that might have been happening to you all your life. That someone who just walked into the room, Mr. Ron Schaefer, beautiful soul he is, as well as all of you. But speaking for Ron, because I know Ron, no. He will tell you that, he's in normal speaking to everyone mode and something begins to drape him. And so I want to make you aware of these things so you can see how it plays out and how it might look like on you, or when something may shift for you. Right now, I'm just being the Keith that I know. And all of a sudden, I feel something swirl inside, and it literally feels like a possession. Please don't put the negative spin on that word. Possession. Meaning I'm being possessed by something of divine love and light. And because right now in this moment, I intended it to be that way. And so it is. And so be it. It begins to happen. I feel it. If you close your eyes, take 3 breaths. Dear Lord, it is so simple. Try this. No matter who's around, invite them to sit next to you. And breathe. I do this all the time. Not only for myself, but I do this when I do these live feeds. Feel it. Take this time. Give yourself this moment right now. This right now moment. Because this now moment is all there is for eternity. Take a breath and intend to marry your maker. Take a breath and intend to experience your maker. Take a breath and intend to have it consume you and express itself through you, or what you know it as you at least. Now take an inventory of you. How do you feel since you've done that? You feel it. Feel that? You may say, actually, Keith, I so want to. I don't. That's okay. You shown intention just now to be in the right now. So maybe you're trying just a little bit too hard. Maybe you're squinting a little bit too much. Relax. Fall into it. And it's about right there. It is so subtle. Once you grasp it and go, I see what you're talking about, it immediately zooms in and goes, and it's huge. And in its subtlety, in its delicateness, in its frailness, is the entire power of the universe. It's in the silence. I hear it now, Keith. It's the silence that is the sound. The silence is the sound. How does the song go? The sound of silence. God's voice is the silence. And until we are living right now, we will never learn the language. We'll never learn the dialect. We'll never even know that we're being spoken to, which has been happening since the beginning of time, which I tell you has never started, nor will it ever end. And the only place you will find that glory, that majesty, is right now. It's the only place you will ever find God, is right now. And again, dear ones, because you are loved, stretch that now moment, breathing intentfully and sincerely. Be ever present aware. Aware of when you shift from right now, and simply bless yourself and go, oh my God, I am about to step right now into the moment of right now and into the gate. And I'm across that threshold. I'm walking into the kingdom. You may come across this feed and say, this just all sounds like nuts. It's why it is so delicious and is the truth. It has been so elusive, and this whole time it's been right under our own metaphorical nose. Feel that. You feel the energy as it moves through your body. The volume, the profound volume of the silence. And that everything that has existed, exists now, or will ever potentially could exist, lives in that quiet. Listen to that shit, how loud it is. Listen. That is called spiritual liberation. Spiritual liberation. Elwood says, how do I what, my brother? Ron Schaefer, thank you for sharing, sir. Let me do a quick scan. If whoever's here, say hi, Keith, or just say hi. Just say hi for me. Because I saw sometimes the tables turn and some people come and go. So if you would say hi, Keith. And then we'll close out the night. And if you have a final question or a final statement, please bring that forth now. Right now. It's everything. I promise you, live in right now. It has been so elusive, and it's been under our own nose the whole time. And this may look quirky to someone who comes upon this presentation and goes, this is just so not. So what is it you're experiencing, Keith? Visions of grandeur. Love. I feel it through my body to a level I have never felt in my life. And it's so filling. It's almost rich like cheesecake. And you have to give it away, because if you don't, it's just too rich. You have to, it's like after 3 or 4 bites of cheesecake, you had enough. It's so rich. You have to give it away because you know you're going to explode. That's what I'm experiencing. And it's a grace. And all those miracles and potential things that are coming down in Keith Anthony Blanchard's life that are coming in the form of miracles. Hopefully, dear Lord, I love the idea that you presented before me, which is this major publication, this book publication. I'm being recognized as an author, and they want to pick up my work and make it one book in one volume, all this work. I am open right now. Right now. I am open right now. Please bring that to me. If that is something that benefits myself and benefits everyone around me, I'm ready to receive that right now. And then you begin to feel it inside of you. How close you are to the miracle. You begin to feel it. You begin to feel it. So now you can use this right nowness to gauge what you are bringing into your experience. That's power. You begin to recognize and feel and wield that power that I just brought you to when I asked you to feel the subtleness of that cosmic voice. And that silence is everything. That becomes at your disposal. Elwood says, take the what if out of the equation. Yeah, there's no more what if, right? You go into that silence. There is no what if. It becomes a what is. Because of your own imagination of it. As God made us in his image and his likeness, as we imagine, so things are to be. So when we go inside into the infinite sea of profound deafening silence, it's no longer a what if. It becomes a what is simply by your own imagination. You cannot have the imagination if the great imaginator didn't imagine into being in the first place. So everything that has ever been created, that exists now throughout the entire universe and the universes on all spiritual planes, or will ever be created, exist right now. Ghost, aliens, Bigfoot, this, other worlds, angelic. You did not create these thought forms. And this conscious experience. At your soul essence you did. But the fact that they have been created is why they exist as possibilities in our minds in the first place. Right now is the gig. Right now. And right now, I'm going to sign off and tell you how much I love you and support you to being in the present ever now moment. Now moment. In closing, I'm going to go in and move out the way and let my soul energy come through. Ya, na, va. Ya, the heart, will. Na, the mind, intellect. Va, the backbone, action. Ya, na, va. These are aspects of the sacred self that when we use them consciously and together, mountains will move. My soul name, my soul vibrational sound is Yanava. Your soul vibrational sound may be different, but it still falls under the umbrella of the audio sound Yanava. Va, Ah. We know God's primordial names is surrounded by Ah. Yanava. Yahweh, Buddha, Krishna. Ah. Think about it. When you have an epiphany, an enlightenment moment, what do you say? Ah. Ah. Amen. Amen. I feel the presence inside of me swell as soon as I just did that. I feel it. As Keith connects, we call him the vessel. As the vessel connects, it begins to step out of the way and let this higher light and vibrational energy and language move across what you see as distance of time and space. This is not the truth of it whatsoever. It is because you are here with me, Yanava, in the now moment. Right now you are here with me, and I am here with you. And together we all exist right now. Do not let your flesh, your bones, your body convince you otherwise. For if you do, you are not living right now for the moment, nor in the moment. As the vessel has demonstrated and does so often about how to be in the now moment, follow this example. It's not about the arduous task, dear ones. It's simply about being intentful and sincere right now. And to the level that you are, I say, to the level that you are is the level that you will experience grace. Now you have something you can gauge. You can call it your grace gauge. And the subtlety of all that is most powerful begins to vibrate and resonate within you. It becomes excited and activated, and you engage it into your life. And a tidal wave of energy explodes, and everyone around you becomes affected via their choice to or not is irrelevant. Light is all-consuming, like what you're experiencing right now. Many of you in this virtual forum are feeling it right now. And I, as the soul, begin to push a little harder. Do you feel that? I am literally opening up a gate, a portal, a vortex for you to experience. If you move through it with your sincere intention to move through it right now. Do you feel yourself swell? Swell. You are loved on all levels from now into eternity. It is done. Yanava. Thank you, everyone. Hello, Dag, Dorothy, everyone. Right now, I'm going to get me a bite of food. And right now, take the time to be right now. I love you.